All right, this morning I graded most of the homework. I didn't get it all, but we're going to go over the homework real quick because there was most of it was clerical errors, but there were also some errors that I think were a little bit of understanding. So let's take a look at the homework. We had to do UDP plus GMP, and I wanted the full equation. And don't forget, I always give them to you 5' to 3'. So that means the first one goes where? On the bottom. So I'm going to come down here, and I have this whole section right here. So remember, we're going to do UDP, so I want to get the sugar correct. Since there's a U, we have to use ribose. And once we choose ribose, we have to do ribose for every single one. So I'm going to get my sugar correct. That's ribose. Now, every single sugar in this drawing must be ribose, okay? Since the first one's at the bottom, I'm going to put a U right there. That's the first one. Okay. Then I'm going to go CH2OP. And then some of you still weren't drawing that high side O- down here. And it's a diphosphate. So watch. We go O, P, O-, double on top, single on the bottom. And a lot of you were either drawing monos or you were drawing tris here. It's UDP. So that's correct. Now I got my plus sign out of the way. Now I'm going to come and line this up. The next sugar, I'm going to line it up right there. I'll draw a little smaller just so it's all on screen at one time. Now I got my HO there. And then I have to have another OH here. See, they have to match. Put my base. This time it's G. And it's a monophosphate, so I can just do it regular. O, P, O-, double. And that's the first half correct. Okay, now you need the arrow to indicate a difference between reactants and products. Don't forget, the only thing you have to know is that the H acts like a knife and cuts off everything to the left of the first P. So this is what's getting cut off right there. Just like that. So I'm going to put my plus sign here. I'm going to draw the remnant first, left to right. And then here's the thing people forgot. You got to take that H, stick it in its head right at the end there. Okay? Now it's just a redraw. I'm going to go back up from the bottom here. So I'm going to get this in here. Make sure every sugar is ribose since we're doing a piece of RNA. There's the U. CH2, O, P, O, into the next one. Double to the right, single to the left. That's the link right there. Then this is another thing. People forgot to put this OH here. People forgot to put the base here. And then we just do the regular mono topper. This is going to be really small. I apologize. There you go. And what I'll do is, if this video is not already on YouTube, it'll be on there this afternoon. So you can go back and freeze frame this and take a look and make sure that you didn't make clerical errors. Now, a lot of you, I told you what was wrong, and you had the opportunity to keep working with me. I was grading yesterday for a couple hours, so we got a lot of that straightened out. But that's how you do full equation. Okay, there will be one of those on the exam. All right, now the next part, the last part of the exam, which is going to be Thursday. I think tomorrow, hopefully we'll all be live. The weather will be fine. We'll be in school. I'm going to review how to do all of these one more time. And then we'll go with the full protein nucleic acid test on Wednesday. All right, so I'm going to take that out of there. So part 3, since I don't have my board with me, I don't remember if we were doing A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. This could be C. So the first part was drawing 3 to 5 nucleotides. Second part was full equation. And then the third part of the problem solving on the exam is going to say, draw the final structure of the following nucleic acid. So final structure is the key to this third part of the problem solving. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. All right, and here's all I'm going to give you, and I'm going to keep this real simple for right now. Let's do, now how many can I do? We'll do 4 or 5. All right, so I'm going to do A, T, C, T, G. Okay, and I always give it to you 5' to 3'. So you know this is the first one right here. Remember, reading them in the correct order is critical to getting the correct amino acids from the code, and the order of amino acids is primary structure, et cetera, et cetera. We've been through this a billion times. All right, now, I know you're not here and we're not live, but when you look at this string, you automatically know this is DNA. And how do you know that? If it has at least one T in the string, it's DNA. For that reason, if it's DNA, you have to use deoxyribose. And you have to use it for every single one, okay? Now, here's what you do. I'm going to bring this paper back in, okay? Am I on screen right there? Yep. I have these little, I don't know if you see these little pieces of duct tape. That's showing me what I'm actually videotaping because the camera is so high above me right now. All right, so when you look at this, on the final structure, is that what I put? Yeah, I think I put the right thing. Let me check. I'm getting old. Hold on. Yep. In the third part, we're going to demonstrate our knowledge of how nucleotides are put together by only drawing the final structure of the nucleic acid, which is what I just put in that big rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that back out of the way. We want to draw the final structure of ATCTG as it appears in DNA, okay? Now, watch. I'm going to go to the bottom of the page. Don't worry. You should have that written down already, and I can see it. So the first one goes at the bottom. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you draw these, they're going to tend to lean to the left, okay? So we have to start at the bottom, and I'm going to start to the right. Now, I'm going to try to stack mine relatively straight, but if they start to banana to the left, I'm not really worried about it. So we got to get all 5 of them, so don't draw too big here. Final structure. This is easy. Watch. We're going to get the first nucleotide, and I'm going to draw it pretty small. First nucleotide, and it has to be deoxyribose, so I don't put anything right there. Okay, I'm on screen. That looks good. Then I'm going to put in my first base, which is A. All right, now here's how you link them together. It's really the same thing. I'm going to draw small here. CH2, O, P, O, into the next one. I'm going to come back and say double to the right, single to the left. And make sure these bonds are lining up. I was looking at your homework over break. Some of you are attaching things in weird places. It's got to be at the corners. That's where the carbons are. Okay? Now, the next thing I do, check my sugar. Look, still the same. Add the next base, which is T. And then I do the same thing. Watch. I say the same thing. CH2, O, P, O, into the next one. And I draw it like that. I come back and say double to the right, single to the left. And that creates that backbone of nucleic acid. I check the sugar. They're all the same. I add the next base, C. All right? Then I'm going to go to the next one. I just go CH2, O, P, O, into the next one. Double to the right, single to the left. It's all about rhythm and learning what to say to create the correct chemical links here. Check my sugar, still right. Go to the next one. It's T. I told you I'm going to run out of room here. Oops, let me bring this back down here. I'm going to get back on camera. There we go. Check my sugar. I'm good. I'm going to do the same thing. CH2, O, P, O, into the next one. Definitely getting tiny now. Double to the right, single to the left. Got it? Check my sugar, add the last base, which is G. And then I always put a mono topper. So I'll do CH2, O, P, O minus, double to the right, single to the left. And I got a little squishy there, but maybe I'll do 4 the next time. Give myself some more room. That's how you do final structure. So it's really just a culmination of, can you draw nucleotides? Can you put 2 nucleotides together? If you understand that, then you can literally draw a string of 100. Okay? So that's what we want to do. All right, now let's do a practice one. Let's do practice 2, and we're going to do final structure. Now watch this. I want you to draw the final structure of RNA. Final structure of RNA. Ooh, that looks fancy, right? So I'm going to give you this sequence. We're only going to do 4 this time. That'll make it a little easier. Let's go C, A, T. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now look, I said draw RNA, and what sequence did I give you? This is DNA. How do you know that? There's 1 T in there. So what do you have to do here? If you're going to draw RNA from this strand, you must do transcription. So be careful on the exam. Make sure I want you to draw the final structure of RNA using this sequence. Well, you can't draw. This is not RNA. This is not RNA. This is DNA. So you must do transcription and convert this strand into RNA using the rules of complementary base pairings. So watch. What goes across from C? G. What goes across from A in RNA? U. What goes across from A? U. What goes across from T? A. Ah, now look, this is RNA from that strand. Now I can draw it. You got to be careful though, because now I show you this, you guys get on the exam, you start converting everything. No. Okay, let's go back to this one. It says draw the final structure of the following nucleic acid. So it doesn't tell you specifically. So you got to draw what I gave you, right? Now on this one, I changed it up. I just threw a curveball. This is what happens in college. I said draw the final structure of RNA, but I gave you DNA. So in college, kids would just draw DNA, and guess what? The whole thing would be wrong. You have to convert first, but you only convert if you need to. So now that I have this sequence, I can now draw RNA. So here's what I'm going to do. This now becomes homework for you. Okay, I want you to take the remainder of the period. Do this for homework, and then I will do a Google assignment. And then you guys will post a picture today by midnight of your work. You're going to post a picture of this work. All right? In addition, there's going to be a second assignment. And it's going to be test practice. That's what we're going to work on tomorrow. So you'll have time in class to finish this one. And then if you understand that, I'm going to post a second assignment over lunch. That will also be due tomorrow. So you got a double dose. It's going to be busy this week. So this pic is due today. This is going to be due tomorrow morning. I'll do it tomorrow morning at, nope, let's do 8:45. That way I can put the zeros in before class starts, okay? Everybody with me? All right, if you have any questions, I'm online with you this morning. So once we get to this point, if you have any questions, I can help you out. Problem is I'm not going to be able to videotape what I'm drawing because I don't have my camera with me. So we'll figure that out though. All right, guys, take care.